Success is not an accident. It is not luck. And it is definitely not something reserved for a chosen few. Success is built, slowly, intentionally, and from the inside out. Most people believe success begins with money, connections, or talent. But every truly successful life starts in the same place, the mindset. Before success appears in your bank account, your career, or your lifestyle, it must exist in your thoughts, habits, and decisions. If you want to build a successful life, you must first change the way you think, because your mindset is the foundation on which everything else is built. 1. Success begins with responsibility. The first mindset shift is this. Successful people take full responsibility for their lives. They do not blame their past. They do not blame their parents. They do not blame the economy, society, or circumstances. They understand one powerful truth. You may not control how you start, but you control how you respond. As long as you blame something outside yourself, you give away your power. Responsibility gives you control. Control gives you direction. Direction leads to progress. The moment you stop saying, "This happened to me," and start saying, "This is my responsibility to fix," your life begins to change. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. 2. Change how you see failure. Most people fear failure. Successful people study it. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the process of success. Every setback teaches you something. Every mistake reveals a weakness. Every loss exposes a lesson, but only if you're willing to learn instead of quit. A weak mindset asks, "Why did this happen to me?" A strong mindset asks, "What is this trying to teach me?" Failure is not a signal to stop. It's feedback. It's proof that you're moving, trying, growing. People who never fail usually never try. If you want a successful life, you must stop running from failure and start using it as fuel. 3. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is structural. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Successful people don't wait to feel ready. They act because they've committed. They show up when they're tired. They work when they don't feel inspired. They stay consistent when no one is watching. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Every successful life is built on boring days, repeated actions, and quiet consistency. No applause. No shortcuts. Just showing up again and again. If you rely on motivation, you'll quit when it fades. If you build discipline, you'll succeed even when motivation disappears. 4. Upgrade your self-talk. You are always listening to yourself. The words you repeat internally shape your confidence, decisions, and behavior. If your inner voice is negative, doubtful, or limiting, your life will reflect that. Unsuccessful mindset says, "I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. People like me don't succeed." Successful mindset says, "I'm learning. I'm improving. I'll figure it out." This doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means speaking with intention. Your brain believes what you repeat. If you constantly tell yourself you can't win, you won't try. If you tell yourself you're capable of learning and growing, you'll act differently. Change your self-talk, and you change your future. 5. Build long-term vision. Most people trade long-term success for short-term comfort. They choose ease over effort, pleasure over progress, comfort over growth. Successful people think differently. They ask, "Where will this decision take me in 5 years?" They sacrifice now so they can live better later. They delay gratification. They invest time, energy, and focus into things that don't pay immediately, but compound over time. A successful life is built by people who understand this truth. Short-term pain leads to long-term freedom. If you want what most people don't have, you must be willing to do what most people won't do. 6. Stop comparing. Start competing with yourself. Comparison is one of the biggest killers of success. When you compare your beginning to someone else's highlight, you lose motivation. You forget your progress. You doubt your path. Successful people don't compete with others. They compete with who they were yesterday. They measure growth, not status. Improvement, not approval. Your journey is unique. Your pace is your own. Focus on getting better, not getting validation. Progress, even slow progress, is still progress. 7. Learn to be alone. Every successful person spends time alone. Alone to think. Alone to plan. Alone to build. Loneliness is not weakness, it's a phase of growth. When distractions leave, clarity enters. When noise fades, focus strengthens. Many people fail because they cannot sit with themselves. They chase relationships, attention, and comfort to avoid self-reflection. But growth happens in silence. If you can learn to be alone without feeling empty, you gain something powerful, self-reliance. 8. Control what you consume. Your mindset is shaped by what you consume, mentally and emotionally. What you watch, what you listen to, who you spend time with. If you constantly consume negativity, drama, and excuses, your thinking becomes weak. If you consume knowledge, inspiration, and discipline-driven content, your thinking strengthens. Successful people guard their minds. They choose environments that push them forward, not pull them backward. Change your inputs, and your outputs will change. 9. Success is built daily. Success is not one big decision, it's thousands of small ones. Waking up on time. Doing the work when it's boring. Choosing learning over scrolling. Choosing growth over comfort. Small habits build massive results over time. Most people underestimate what they can achieve in a few years because they overestimate what they can do in a few days. Be patient. Stay consistent. Trust the process. 10. Define success for yourself. A successful life is not just money or status. True success is alignment, living according to your values, respecting yourself, being proud of the effort you put in. Money is important. Freedom is important. Achievement matters. But none of it means anything if you hate who you become in the process. Build success that doesn't require you to betray yourself. Final message. If you want to build a successful life, remember this. Change doesn't start with the world. It starts with your mindset. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need approval. You need responsibility. You need discipline. You need belief backed by action. The life you want is built one decision at a time. Decide today to think differently. Decide today to act intentionally. Decide today to build, even when it's hard. Because once your mindset changes, everything else follows.